So a little while ago, I did a video for you on a book that I had been listening to about Stoicism. And in the video, I talked about some of the different concepts in there that really lent themselves well to the ideas of success that I talk about a lot, and especially for us as teachers and coaches. Today, I'm not going to say it's a follow-up, but I'm going to address one aspect that I had covered in there, and then talk a little bit about how it affects us as teachers and coaches. And I thought about doing this only for the new coaches and putting this only in our fast track lab for new coaches. But I think the idea in it is a good one for all of us, veteran, new coaches, you name it. So the idea is this. One of the things they mentioned in there was, don't worry so much about being focused on approval from other people, and that whole comparing yourself with others, but then also wanting the approval of others. Now, that's a tough thing for a lot of us, certainly, but it's a great reminder for us to focus on doing what we know is best for the right reasons and all of that. But here's my little twist. About a week ago, I was at a restaurant. I was standing at the counter, I was getting ready to pay, and a woman stepped up to me who was also getting ready to pay and said, "Coach Rosberg." And I looked at her and she said, "You probably don't remember me, but I was a student in your English class when I was in high school." And I said, "Oh," and she said her name. And of course, those of you who've been doing this for a long time, I've literally taught thousands of kids and coached as well. When you start adding them up over all the years of teaching and coaching, it's in the thousands. And so, this was in the 1990s. And so I didn't exactly remember. She said her name and I kind of remembered the name. But she said, "I just wanted you to know," she was talking about how she'd become a teacher and teaches is a teacher in our town here. And she said, "Just wanted to tell you, you were the reason I wanted to become a teacher, your class and how you were in class." And it was obviously, for those of you who've had that happen before, and I'm sure many of you have, it's a great feeling. And it makes so much of what we go through worth it when you realize that you've had a positive influence and a positive impact on kids. But here's the thing. Think about what I just said about in that Stoicism book about not worrying so much about the approval of others. Well, this is different. This is something that I think we as teachers and coaches should, in many ways, focus on. Not necessarily that that's why I do it. Not necessarily that that's what we're after. But what kind of an impact are you having on the people you serve? What kind of an influence are you having on your students, on your athletes? Because that's really what this is about. Did I want my kids to learn Macbeth and how to write a sentence and write a paragraph properly and write good essays and all that? Of course, that's what an English teacher does. But so much more than that. I wanted them to learn lessons about life, to become better people, to try to be their best in whatever it is that they're going to go out and do. And I've always felt that one of the best ways for me to do that is to have lessons that focus on that in some ways, or maybe secondary aspects. This is the beauty of being an English teacher. I was able to pick stories and pick poems and pick different things that would lend well to certain lessons like that. But as a coach, I also want to try and create moments where I can teach those kinds of lessons. But ultimately, the greatest lesson of all is the example that we set and how we model for people that behavior. Last week's video, I'm not exactly sure when this one will come out, but the one right after the Stoicism one was about, yes, you are a role model. And so think about this concept. While the Stoic was talking about, let's not worry so much about the approval of others, I think as teachers, coaches, as leaders, parents, we do have to consider, how am I setting an example for the young people in my life, and are they approving of it? Did that feel good to me when she said that it made her want to be a teacher because of my influence or impact? Absolutely. Those are the great paychecks that we get. But the focus should be on the influence and impact I can have on her and on other students and my players to become whatever they want to become, and to help them realize that being their best is going to be what it's all about, and being people of great character and being people of great integrity, and all the types of lessons that we try to teach kids every day. So I think it's a great lesson for us to keep in mind that, yeah, don't worry so much about the approval of others, but don't ever forget it, especially when it comes to your kids. Talk to you again next time.